friends, see what's happening right now. It is absolutely stunning. I sense anti-Semitism even when I walk with the kippah outside, and I hope everybody will exercise a lot of wisdom and caution. As we have to ask ourselves a question: where does this came from? It appears that all of a sudden, like, we wake up one day and there is truly a spirit of anti-Semitism that just appears. It's out of nowhere. And we're seeing it in places like that you would not imagine seeing it. For example, in college campuses. And everybody have to understand the reality. The reality that anti-Semitism just raised up all of a sudden is false in its core. I wrote to you the book, The New Hamas. And one of the things that I have explained, that this is a spiritual matter rather than a physical matter. We must stop using this expression, Israeli-Palestinian conflict, because this is really not what it's about. If you're watching what's happening, for example, right now in the campuses, it started with those songs From the River to the Sea. And before that, we had the Black Lives Matter. All of those things are stemmed from the same place. And I want to take a few moments today and speak about that so that people understand, well, where is it coming from? You must understand that the expression of King Solomon, Ma Shehaya Yeh, hold true for what we are seeing right now. It means in your language, what took place in the past will take place in the future. Prophecy is cyclical. Now, I hope everybody took seriously those books that I released to you. The Fall of Edom, specifically the New Hamas, and internalize the message inside. One of the things that I have explained in the Fall of Edom that is so important, that Gog and Magog war is a war that lasts roughly 100 years. Now let's go from the assessment that it's correct, that it's a war that takes place 100 years and it's have three parts. That's what our sages explain. It's have three parts. We call it World War I, World War II, World War III. Well, World War I started in 1914. So we are a little bit over 100 years, but we're with this realm of timing that our sages spoke about. Well, we know what's happened in World War II. In World War II, we had an uprising of a regime called the Third Reich that seek to destroy the foundation of the Jewish people, to wipe the Jewish people from the face of the earth. That was the job of the Third Reich. In the end of the day, that's what they desire. Extermination of a human race. And you should understand something, that as we're progressing, and we are seeing now, I was reading about the UCLA professor, some of his comments in the Hebrew newspaper, that he came to campus and he ran his digital ID to enter campus as a professor, and he could not get in. And he says, I feel and I see the same making of Nazi Germany in the 1930s. I'm seeing the same thing. And everybody have to understand, with the principle of King Solomon, that what we have experienced during World War II not only going to repeat itself, I am going to make the statement for all of you to consider that this was just a trial for the level of extermination that the enemy want to unleash upon the Jewish people in those last days. In essence, the Holocaust was not the worst thing to come. There's something that is going to come that is even worse than the Holocaust. Chas v'chalila, God forbid. But this is what I would like to suggest to you. Now, I know some people watching us, they love our teaching and they embrace our teaching. Sometimes I get hate mail and people say, you're too Talmudic. You're too rabbinic. This is opinion of man. What if I prove to you this evening that the Talmud has inside of it divine sparks of understanding things from above? Would you then believe that there is an oral Torah? I want to show it to you in the context of anti-Semitism and the Holocaust, because the Talmud prophesied. Listen to me, the Talmud spoke clearly about the Nazi Germany and the source of the Nazi Germany and where it came from. Now, how did the rabbis know that? See, the rabbis are very clever and smart when they come to understanding prophecy. They understand that prophecy does not start in the tomorrow. It is not starting in the today. The prophecy is starting in what took place in the past. So always the rabbis took this to account. And listen to what it says. And Rabbi Itzhak also said, what is the meaning with what it is written? Grant not, O Lord, the desire of the Rashaim, the wicked. Further not his evil device, so that they not exalt themselves, Selah. Who is this verse speaking about? In Megillah 6, it's answered this. This is straight from Megillah, tractate Megillah. It says, Jacob said before the Holy One, blessed be he, Master of the universe, grant not to the wicked Esav the desire of his heart. This verse in Psalm 140, verse 9, speaking about Esav, as he wishes to destroy us. What is the goal of Esav, brothers and sisters? The goal of Esav. Who is Esav? Who is Edom? Edom is the force that seeks to destroy the Jewish people and wipe them from the face of the earth. You should know this. Listen to what it says in Megillah. It says, further not his evil device, the Hebrew word zmamo, does not remove the muzzle, which is zamam, that constrained him and prevent him from breaking out and gathering further strength. This is the reference to. So who is this verse from? Well, he's speaking about Esav, but wait a second. Chazal come and said, no, it's not just speaking about Esav. Look at the next slide. It is referring to a country that called Germania, which is really Edom. Do you hear the word Germania? How do you say Germany in Hebrew? Germania. Germania. Germany, which is near the land of Edom, which is aligning itself with Rome, as if the German would go forth, they would destroy the entire world. Brothers and sisters, the Talmud has prophesied about World War II and the destruction of the world that will come from two forces. The force that's called Germania, which is Germany. And matter of fact, look what Rashi says on that. Rashi in the 9th century says Germania is really Germania. Germany, the name of the kingdom, where it is also known by the name of Edom and Rome. Well, let's see what the Hebrew says. It says, "Vechazal apotrim." They give us the solution. Potrim. They tell us the solution. Germania, kavanatam lemedina anikret ken beleshono. Germania is. Do exactly you think it is. It is Germany. Says it here clearly about this. And a matter of fact, the Talmud continues to tell us how Germany has been established as a nation. And it says there are 300 young princes with crown tied to their head in Germania of Edom. And there are 365 chieftains in Rome. What happened in 1936? In 1936, we created what called the excess of ultimate evil on humanity, where, just as the Talmud says, Rome with Mussolini and Adolf Hitler have joined forces in to attempt to destroy the world, and that is called Edom. Who was controlling them? The Talmud is telling us who has been controlling them. It's none other than Edom, Esav. That's why Psalm 140 is so important. And the rabbis explained that if Germania did not have the alliance of Rome, they wouldn't be as powerful. And it's true. If Mussolini would not have stood up together with the German, they would not be as successful. The enemy always operate 2 by 2. Do you hear what I'm telling you? Today, Edom, which now we're talking about this spiritual demonic force, Edom is going to look for alliance. Edom is look to attach himself to something else. And who is it going to be attached himself to? Into Ishmael. That's what we're seeing happening right now in the world. And we have to be careful in Yom HaShoah, in those days, that we do not become this force of Edom. And I'm worried about this. And I'll tell you why I'm worried about this. UCLA and some of the other universities said to the student, please put down the protest. We will build mosques and we will build Muslim centers and we'll give scholarship. Just don't do that. We as a nation becoming Edom. The world is becoming Edom, that look in the name of quote unquote tolerance, look to partner with Ishmael and create again a same climate of Germany and Italy. Are you following me today? We must stand for Jacob. We must stand with Jacob, and even more, we have to become Jacob. You want to know what's the only remedy of the last days today? You have to become Jacob in this last days. If you do not become Jacob, it is going to be Edom who consume you as the next Holocaust. The final Holocaust will come upon the Jewish people. Let's say today, never again. And let's block the spiritual force of Edom from coming into our life. Are you Edom? Today is a day in Yom HaShoah to make this decision. Also, please make sure that you read my new book, The Fall of Edom, because this force is after you and ultimately after Jacob. What an incredible prophecy from the Talmud about Second World War. And we today will say in one voice those words, grant not, O Lord, the desire of the wicked, of Esav. Nothing changed, friends. The battle that started with Esav trying to destroy Yaakov is coming to the final round. In which side of the ring will you stand? Thank you for being with us for a very special evening here at Ahavat Ammi International. As always, your prayers, support, and love mean everything. God bless you, and we'll see you again soon.